So welcoming you to this soul flow session this morning. It's so wonderful connecting with each of you, and this week feels like quite a powerful week, and I'd like to bring that into the practice today. I'm going to talk a little bit more about why in a moment, but just for those that just arrived, just to recap that we're in a restorative bridge pose. So that's like a normal bridge pose. Feet hip distance apart, ankles under knees, and then you're going to have a brick or whatever your creation of a brick is underneath the sacrum, underneath the top of the buttocks, the arms just resting out, palms to the sky. Now we're all here, we can begin together. Let's all take 5 deep breaths. At the end of the 5th breath, just taking a moment to scan through the body, noticing what experience of the body you're bringing to this practice today. Each day, each moment, we awaken into presence of what is here now, exploring the possibility of releasing our expectations, and instead checking in with what is actually here, and beginning from there, from that place, in attunement to mind, body, spirit. And it might be any of those of feeling some tiredness. It might be there's some aches and pains. It might be there's a lot of energy. It might be there's less energy. None of these are right or wrong. They are all invitations to explore presence with what is here now. And today, for our practice, in honor of the full moon tomorrow, a super moon, no less, it felt like it came in perfect timing to the reflections that I've been having recently about this period of world shift that we're going through. This extreme experience that we've all been having of lockdown, quarantine, pandemics, all this language. And it struck me from my own experience and my own work, and it struck me from the work I've been doing with clients, and just from this space that we've been holding together over the last how many weeks, I have no concept of time anymore, is that with all the challenge, there has been a sharp calling into attention of who we are, of perhaps what our purpose, our desire to create in this world might be, and actually of what perhaps no longer serves us. And it struck me that this is the energy of Kali, the goddess Kali. And some of you will be familiar because I've taught on retreat about this goddess Kali, a Hindu deity. But when we call upon these deities in our practice, rather than calling upon an idea of something external to us, we're really calling upon the understanding that these energies exist within us. And so we're calling upon that force, that energy within us. And Kali is the goddess of destruction. So there's a fierceness to Kali. She comes in and she burns down to the ground anything that is no longer serving us. And so it's a very powerful force. We have to be ready because we need to understand that change often comes with this tumultuous, fiery energy of destruction. You know, endings are often necessary for beginnings. And so one essence of this Kali energy is this essence of destroying, and the understanding of a willingness to accept the need to let go of the old in order to move forwards. Her energy is that of dissolution and creation. Within the universe and within the different cycles in our life, I think we're all within a cycle of our life, no matter what that looks like right now. A cycle of shift and change. With the destructive flame that burns through with this energy of Kali, there is left this abundantly fertile soil. And from that soil is the paradox of new beginnings that arise from endings. And so the image that I always have of Kali is one of a phoenix rising from the ashes. From that fire, we can rise into a manifestation of glory, our glory. The full moon, the super moon tomorrow, also it's a Scorpio full moon, and perhaps this resonates for you, perhaps not, but understanding also that the essence of this super moon is about shedding layers in preparation that we may attune more clearly to our soul, and releasing and stepping fearlessly into the truth of who you are. So there's a beautiful synchronicity, and I'm not at all surprised that what I've been feeling about this energy Kali would coincide with what is arising in the cycles of the moon. And so this experience of having been forced into our homes under challenging circumstances for many of us has confronted us with our practices, our mechanisms, our beliefs, and it has shown us them in the clearest, most confronting of ways, perhaps, for some of us. And that is an invitation. That is a space of possibility. And so today in our practice, we're going to invoke this sense of strength, of courage, of power, through the solar plexus, through the chakra manipura, which resides in the solar plexus, and is the city of gems. It's the place from which we soak our inner fire and our glow in the world, how we hold our head up high and how we step a foot forwards. That is the space that we will explore today. A fire, but a fire that doesn't come from fighting, a fire that can maintain a softness, a yielding, a surrendering, even as we stoke that inner strength. So finding that exploration of surrendering into strength rather than fighting our way through the practice. So gently pressing down through the feet to lift the hips and to remove the brick from beneath you. And then from there, hug knees into the body and roll over to your side, whichever side you feel drawn to. And find your way to a seated position. So coming to a seated position, you might be sitting up upon something, a blanket or a block. You might have your knees supported if, like me, You're keeping these extra safe. And from here, just bring the hands onto the solar plexus. So you can feel this connection in to this space of the solar plexus. It might be the other hand wants to rest on the body. It might be it simply comes into mudra, thumb to index resting on the thigh. And just taking a moment as you reflect upon this intention of invoking this energy of Kali, this intention of what perhaps has become clear to you and what it is that you feel ready to release, this gazing through your own life and bringing this intention into focus in your experience of your life at this time. What does this mean to you? What does this energy of releasing, of endings to make space for beginnings represent in your life at this time? And once an image, an intention begins to form, settling that deep into the space of the heart, like a seed that will be nourished through our awareness, our practice today. And then both hands can rest on the thigh. One hand can perhaps stay on the solar plexus as we come into 3 rounds of Kapalabhati. So Kapalabhati is a fiery breath to stimulate the prana, the energy in our body. So I'm going to demonstrate just one round. The hand on the solar plexus can be helpful if you're unfamiliar with this practice. So you can take one breath in through the nose, and then we take short, sharp pumps through the solar plexus. Let me tuck my top up. So you're going to see this spasm almost, so maybe a nicer word than spasm, as you exhale. So can you see how with each exhalation there's a pumping, that's a better word, a pumping of the diaphragm of the solar plexus, okay? And we can take different paces of this. You want it to be not a super slow pace because you want to invoke some fire here, but equally, personally, I avoid going really, really quickly, which can be kind of a sense of, instead it's a, when we come to the end of the practice, which I'll guide you towards, there's a deep exhale, folding forwards, and then an inhale to rise. And we'll take a couple of rounds of steady breath before taking 2 more rounds of that, okay? So preparing, and we're going to do 3 rounds of this. If you have an upset stomach, if you have a high blood pressure, or if you're just not feeling very well today, I suggest you stay focused on just counting a natural inhale and exhale. So same count for inhale as for exhale. Otherwise, let's take a couple of breaths together. Inhaling. Exhale. And then a little half inhale in. And then begin. Keep going for as long as feels right for you. Stop whenever you need. And then finishing in 3, 2, 1. Deep exhale, fold forwards to release all the breath. Inhale, rise. couple of rounds of normal breath. Just noticing the effects of this practice. And then we begin again. Gentle sip, half inhale. And begin. Three, two, and one. Exhale, fold forward deeply. Inhale, rise. Couple rounds of normal breath. Final round. Inhale, half sip. And begin. Three, two, and one. Exhale deeply. Inhale, rise. The rounds of breath. Both hands on the solar plexus. There is a force within which gives you life. Seek that. In your body lies a priceless gem. Seek that. O wandering soul, if you want to find the greatest treasure, don't look outside. Look inside and seek that. Gently opening the eyes. For those that are bringing music into the practice, you can press play now. Otherwise, finding a way to all fours and beginning to find a flow of cat-cow. So hands are beneath the shoulders, knees beneath the hips, and just slide. Inhale, let them. Exhale, cow. Keep flowing with the breath here. And then walk the hands forward a little and bring the shoulders over the wrists. So the knees will be behind the hips and begin to lower down to the earth. Inhale, gently lift Cobra. Exhale, child's pose. Let's do 2 more rounds of that. Rock yourself forward, shoulders over wrists, knees behind hips. Lower yourself down, awakening the shoulders. Inhale, rise. Exhale, child's pose. Lift from the buttocks up and back. One last round. And see as you lower on this round if you can connect into that space of the solar plexus as we begin to build awareness. Inhale, Cobra. Exhale, lift from buttocks, press your hands back. Rock yourself forwards, forearms come to the earth. It might be that the fists interlink, the shoulders, or rather the elbows are beneath the shoulders. Step 1 foot back, then the other. Make sure you're not collapsing in the lower back. Keep the hips elevated, and you can be aware of the space between the shoulder blades and lift up there. So it's as if the lower ribs lift up towards the kidneys and you dome between the shoulder blades. You're going to stay here for 5, 4, knees can be on the earth if necessary, for 3, for 2, And for one, knees to the earth, child's pose. Rock yourself forwards, all fours, plant hands shoulder width apart, tuck toes, and lift to downward dog. So know that I won't always be demoing in class because it helps for me to look at you also while I'm teaching as much as possible. So if you feel it's helpful to be able to see, maybe checking out one of your fellow yogis in downward dog, you can walk the dog, straightening one heel to the earth as the opposite knee bends side to side, finding the dance. And then from here, extend, inhale, right foot back behind you. As you exhale, bring the right knee to the right elbow, shoulders over wrist. Inhale it back. Exhale, right knee comes to the left elbow. Inhale it back. Exhale, knee comes into the nose. Lift up, up, up. Inhale it back. Foot rest down to the earth. Inhale, left foot extends back. Exhale, left knee, left elbow, shoulders over wrist. Inhale, slow, extend it back. Exhale, knee into the opposite elbow. Inhale it back. And bring the foot back down to the earth. Walk the dog for a moment. And on the next inhale, right foot extends back. This time bring the knee in all the way towards the nose and then step that foot all the way through, helping as necessary. Back knee comes down to the earth. Hands rise, Anjaneyasana. Okay, so keeping that knee tracking towards the ankle. The left knee is behind the left hip, so you can really sink into that left hip flexor and keep drawing the left hip forwards. So you keep the sacrum nice and easy. Lower ribs hug back towards the spine, shoulders away from the ears. Bring the left hand to the earth beneath the shoulder. Tuck the left toes and lift. And from here, the right hand can lift up to the sky. For 3. For 2. And for 1, knee to the earth, right hand to the inside of the right foot, turn the right foot out slightly, inhale through the chest and lower down, down. Maybe you'll find yourself coming onto your forearms, maybe not. Every inhale lengthening. Every exhale melting a little deeper. You might even have that back toe lifted so you can find a pulsation. Not the back toe, the back knee. And then from wherever you are here, step that right foot back, hands to the earth, downward dog. Inhale, left foot extends back. Knee in towards the nose, step it all the way through. Lower that right knee to the earth. Hands rise to the sky. So again, see how that knee is behind the hip and that allows us drawing forwards and sinking into the hip flexor. At the same time, I'm pressing down deeply into my left heel and drawing it back towards the body. Hands rise, shoulders away from ears, ribs back towards the spine. Right hand comes to the earth beneath the shoulder, tuck the right toes, lift that back leg, and from here begin to extend up to the sky. Keep drawing that left hip back, right hip forward, extending out through the heel to elevate. And now hand to the earth, knee can come down. Bring the left hand to the inside of the left foot turns out slightly. And take a moment to find the juiciness in the pose to sink into. Maybe you're coming onto forearms, maybe the back knee is lifted. What creates the most juiciness, the greatest stretch and space in your body? 2 more breaths. See if the heart can extend forward. And then palms to the earth, stepping that foot back and find your way to downward dog. Inhale, right foot extends back and step it all the way through. Keep the left heel lifted, the left knee lifted, hands rise to the sky. Keep drawing left hip forwards, right hip back, knee over ankle, and activating that back leg. Be really aware of these ribs, drawing them back in towards the spine. You can either stay here, otherwise hands in prayer. See if you can twist from your middle and then bring that left elbow to the outside of the right thigh. Press the hands together in prayer and find the twist. And once you're in the twist, be aware of the tailbone lengthening towards the back heel and at the same time extending through the crown. So you're lengthening through the spine and twist. For 2. And for 1. Hands rise to the sky. And then bring them to the earth. As always in the practice, you can either come straight to downward dog, otherwise vinyasa. Hands beneath the shoulders, lowering yourself, either knees, chest, chin, or all the way down to the earth, cobra, or upward facing dog. Touch toes, exhale, downward dog. Taking it to the opposite side, inhale, left leg extends back. Exhale, step it through. Set yourself up, find your foundation, and rise. Strong roots down into the earth. Draw that right hip forward, hands to the sky. Lower ribs draw back towards the spine. Either keeping this, otherwise hands in prayer, and aware of the core, the center. Begin to twist from that place as the right elbow hooks to the outside of the knee. For 3 breaths. For 2, the back knee can always be down to support you. And for 1, inhale, hands rise to the sky at center. Exhale, hands plant to the earth. Choose your option, either downward dog or vinyasa, knees, chest, chin, or full vinyasa. Chaturanga, upward facing dog, also available. Exhale, downward dog. Walk feet up towards the hands. Feet hip distance apart. Knees slightly bent. Nod the head yes, shake the head no. And now from a deep connection into the earth, as you inhale, sweep fingers to the earth and bend the knees deeply. Finding your way into Kasana, chair pose. So feet slightly apart, feeling the ribs drawing back towards the spine. At the same time, the heart is lifting forward as the arms draw back into their sockets. Sink a little deeper. Hold here for 3. For 2. And for 1, inhale, gently rise. Exhale, sink back in once again. Hands in prayer. Left elbow comes to the outside of the right thigh. Make sure the left knee is poking forward. Hands compressing to find the twist in side chair. Every inhale, lengthen. Exhale, twist. Inhale, center. Keep the knees bent, or you can straighten for a moment for relief. Exhale, twist. Again, check the right knees are poking forwards. Hands in prayer, stretching, extending and twisting. For 2. And for 1. Inhale, center. Exhale, forward fold. Walk one knee forward into a bend, one heel back, and then shift. So like a walking the dog, but standing. Both feet to the earth. Inhale, gaze forward. Exhale, step back into plank pose. Yogi's choice down to the earth. Inhale, rise. Exhale, downward dog. Inhale, right foot extends back. Step it through. Bring the back foot down to the earth, feet hip distance apart. The back toes facing forward, knee over ankle, and then rise, coming into a warrior 1 pose. And check it's really pressing down into the earth. Keep that, draw the hips forward. You might need to take the feet slightly wider apart, knee over ankle, hands to the sky. From here, extend yourself forward, keeping the energy through the legs, pressing down through the heels, and it's as if the thighs are hugging in and up. Inhale, rise. Inhale, fingers behind, or rather interlink fingers behind the back. Lift up through the heart and then fold. Fold to the inside of that front leg. As you fold down, keep the heart extending forwards for 3, for 2, and for 1. Inhale, hands rise to the sky. Exhale, hands to the earth, vinyasa. Yogi's choice for your vinyasa. Meeting in downward dog once again, where we'll inhale the left foot back and exhale that foot all the way through. Finding left knee over left ankle, feet wider apart, back toes face forward, and then rising to our warrior 1. Keep tracking that right hip forward if possible. Outside edge of the back foot connects into the earth. Strong foundation. And from here, extend forwards. Keeping that deep connection through the feet as you lengthen. And now rise. Interlink fingers behind the back. Shimmy shoulders together. Lift through the heart. And fold. Fold down towards the earth. For 3 breaths. Unravel the fingers, hands rise to the sky. Inhale. As you exhale, hands come down to the earth. Optional vinyasa, plank, down to the earth, and coming straight to downward dog. And we're going to take that one more round. I'm going to let you be guided by your own breath. I'm going to give minimal cues to follow your own breath, moving through each pose in your own time, finding your own dance. As you inhale, right foot extends back. Exhale, step it through. Inhale, warrior 1. Exhale, fold it forwards. Arms extend long before you. In your own time, dance the arms back up to the sky. Interlink fingers behind the back. Lift and melt forwards. Inhale, hands rise. And exhale, hands come to the earth, downward dog or optional vinyasa. No rushing, take it slow. Inhale, left foot as if pressing through treacle, extends back. Exhale, step that foot all the way through, consciously planting outside edge of back foot to the earth and rise. Slow it down as if dancing through water. Keep that foundation and extend forwards. Inhale, rise, interlink fingers behind the back, lift the heart to the sky, and now lead with your heart as you extend down to the earth. Inhale, rise. Optional vinyasa, hands to the earth. Choose your option. And when you find your way to downward dog, I'm going to invite you with no cues from me to follow that sequence again. But the sequence is a dance. We're not rushing from one to the next. We're exploring the experience of moving between poses, in and out of the pose, finding our own dance and rhythm. There's no right or wrong. You might soften the eyes. Find your own dance, listening to the guiding strength within you. There is a force within which gives you life. Seek that. In your body lies a precious gem. Seek that. O wandering soul, if you want to find the greatest treasure, don't look outside. Look inside and seek that. Find this Sthiram Sukham Asanam, this steady, comfortable, easeful pose. So there's a steadiness as we glide our way through this dance in our body. Beautiful. And then meeting whenever you come to the end of your flow in a downward dog or perhaps a moment of child's pose, listening. Can we slow this right down, right down? Everyone finding their way to downward dog. And then gently letting the heels both just drop over to the left side. And the right hand might come to the sky as you explore this dancing expression of a side plank. Again, finding that power of the body and yet a dancing softness, a creativity. The movements that I'm making are just suggestions. Right hand comes to the earth, downward dog, and then shift to the opposite side. So I'm on the edges of both my feet, and I'm using that to support me in this dance. And then from here, hands plant to the earth. And rolling onto the outside edge of the left foot, the right foot can come and connect, this time coming to side plank. It might be that that top leg is supporting you, otherwise feet together, and notice how active my toes are, pressing down, lifting up. Stay here, or bring that right foot so that the pad comes down to the earth and the heart lifts and opens, coming towards a wild thing. For 2, and for 1. Hand to the earth, walk through your downward dog, find the dance in your body. And then shift over to the opposite side, extending Down through the hand, out through the toes, squeezing legs together. Press down, lift up, and feel that sense of fire within, that power and that strength held within a space of softness, of grace, of surrender, yielding. And so we don't find tension in the pose, but rather curiosity. From here, the possibility of coming to a wild thing, opening up through the body, and then hand comes down to the earth, knees come to the earth, keep the hips over the knees, and from here a puppy pose. So walking the hands forward, and either the forehead's on the earth, otherwise see perhaps the whole throat and chest can come down towards the earth. Close your eyes for a moment, finding that openness. Roll yourself forwards onto the belly. Hands come down either side of the body. Tuck chin into the chest. Elevate the chest. And on your next inhale, extend, activate the whole body, that the arms and the legs and the body begins to lift off the earth. But rather than trying to create more of a curve, see if you can lengthen through the head and lengthen through the toes, lengthening so much that the body begins to rise for 2 and for 1. Come down to the earth onto the right ear. Hips move from side to side. And again, come to face forward, tuck chin into the chest. Lift the chest, keep the neck nice and long, and now activating, lifting up, back through fingers, lifting, extending back through toes, and allowing the chest to lengthen forward for 3 breaths. Come down onto the earth, make a pillow for the forehead, move hips side to side. Inhale, lengthen. Coming into Cobra or up dog. Exhale, downward dog. From downward dog, walking the feet up towards the hands until hands meet feet. Bend the knees and slowly ragdoll all the way to standing. Give a little shake. And from here, we're going to work out the best way to do this so you can see me. We're going to keep the right foot forward and step the left foot back, okay? Coming towards a warrior 2. Otherwise, I end up with my back to you. So that's not so helpful. Knee coming over the ankle, heel aligned to the back arch, okay? Nice long stance, and from here, the arms can lengthen. Keep that for a moment, feeling a deep, strong activation of the legs. Extend down through the feet and feel the thighs hugging in and up. Keeping that, and now bring the hands to the earth. So keep the right knee tracking over the right ankle as you bow down. You can start feeling that, especially in the right hip, bowing down to the earth. And either staying here exploring the space there, otherwise the right hand can come to hold maybe the ankle on the right side, maybe the right shoulder starts extending underneath the right thigh, and perhaps from here there's a sense of lifting both arms up and back to fly as the heart extends forward. Holding there for the count of 3. Some good thigh bone going on there. And then wherever you are, rise to warrior 2. Straighten that front leg. Rotate the hips to face towards the front leg. And now extend. Extend long and bring the hand down to the earth. And then open up into a Trikonasana, triangle pose. From here, you can extend the arm up and over. Shoulders away from ears. Utthita Trikonasana. For 3, for 2, tailbone down towards that back ankle. And for one. Left hand comes onto left hip. Bend the knee, shimmy the weight forward, forward, forward. Right hand comes to the earth and shift the weight with your gaze until you find your way to Ardha Chandrasana. Know that you can have your hand on a brick, on something to support you, something stable, and then opening up. You can stay here or take the bind, Chapasana, Ardha Chandrasana. Whoop, you can fall into the bookshelf. All options available. I'm loving teaching yoga whilst dodging the furniture in my flat. And then from here, in your own time, very slowly lower yourself back and find your way to Warrior Two. Straightening the leg, both toes come to face the long end of your mat, hands come onto the hips. Inhale, lengthen, keep the belly really drawing up towards the spine as you fold forwards. Hands come to the earth. It might be that you have hands coming onto bricks or something to support if they don't reach the earth. It might be you keeping the knees bent if you've got something going on in your back like disc problems. Otherwise, everyone come onto fingertips. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold. Lengthen and fold. Activate the legs. Make sure the weight isn't just in the heels. Keep it across the whole foot. The thighs hug in and lift up. Sitting bones gently opening up towards the sky. Come up onto fingertips. Bring right hand beneath the heart, left hand onto sacrum. Inhale, lengthen, and exhale, twist to open. Finding your way into a twist, keeping that weight across the whole foot. And then exhaling it down and floating to shift the other way. Exhaling it down, bend the knees a little, activate the thighs, rise, hands on hips, turn the left foot to face forward, the right foot turns in and make your way to Warrior Two. You're going to be facing the other way on your yoga mat now. From here, arms extend, find the openness through the chest, keep that in the legs, and then start to fold yourself down. It's almost like bowing down, the hands are almost, it's almost like the body's in a downward dog in one way and the legs are in a different position on the Warrior Two. Bowing down, keeping that left knee over left ankle, keep that. Maybe the left hand takes hold of the left ankle to see if the shoulder can shimmy towards the space underneath the thigh. And from here, the arms can extend back, the heart can extend forwards. For 3, for 2, keep lengthening, and for 1, rise gently, straightening the leg as you go, turn right hip forwards, extend, nice and long, and then bow down as the hand finds its way to Trikonasana. I really enjoy a Trikonasana with a brick. I find it helps this action of opening. So now I have more openness in my chest. Keep that, and the arm might extend up and over. And this is a great side stretch. So if you're extending through, imagine the lungs, the rib cage, opening up through the breath, through the space that you offer. Right hand comes onto right hip, shimmy the weight forward, forward, forward. Left hand to the earth, Ardha Chandrasana. Gone from sofa to table. And extends up to the sky. So really hear the drishti, whereas your gaze, that's kind of extending back deeply into a wall to help with the connection. You might take the bind, taking hold of that back ankle. And then you're in time, ever so slowly, as if dancing through water, connect to the earth, And find your way back to Warrior Two. From here, turn the feet. And this time the feet are going to both face kind of towards two corners of your mat. And then from there, lower down, lower the hips. You want to have the knees tracking towards the big and second toe on each foot. And please take care with any knee issues here. And from here, just keeping low, move side to side. So opening into the hips. And then from here, take the right forearm onto the right thigh, straighten the left arm and begin to twist, looking up over the right shoulder. And then change opposite side. Twisting, lovely spinal twist here whilst opening up in the hips. Come back to center. Gently rise, hands to prayer at the heart, and step to the front of your mat. Take a moment to just notice. Hello legs, hello hips. How are you today? Coming to the front of your mat, hands on the hips, bend the knees a little, right foot holds you, left foot lifts and extends around to reach the calf. It might be toes stay on the floor, it might be the hook behind the calf there. And then right thumb comes to third eye, left arm wraps round, coming towards Garudasana, sinking down, down, down. And see if you can curl all the way in, belly hugging back towards the spine. And think of it like this contraction of Kali, the kind of contracted space where there's a deep realization of that which we need to release. And then from here, start to open. And you can either take hold of the left knee, hold the outside of the left foot, right hand and right hip, and begin to extend to ring finger. So either holding and feeling this sense of beginnings from closings to openings. And release. Do whatever dance is needed now to shake that out. Let's take it to the opposite side. Bend the knees a little, left foot supporting this time. Come back a bit here and then wrap it round. Make sure hips are nicely facing forwards. Left thumb to third eye, right arm wraps round and sink. Now you know what's coming, so you can have this sense of contraction, this sense of the challenge, the burning away, the releasing. And then from here, begin to open this blossoming expansion. Take hold of the outside edge of the foot and begin to extend out, reaching in this sense of opening and expansion. Otherwise, you're holding the knee out to the side. For 2. And for 1, release. Shake it out. Tadasana, mountain pose, and a little check-in. Hand on solar plexus, hand on heart, eyes closed. How is it now? What is here now? Can you feel the dance of energy in your body, in your being, as we enliven our presence through this practice? Palms, inhale, rise to the sky. Exhale, fold forwards. Inhale, gaze to horizon. Exhale, step back into plank. Lower down, all the way down to the earth and remain there. And we're going to come into Shalabhasana once again. Arms either side of the body. Chin tucks into the chest. And as you inhale, begin to activate as if you're lighting up every cell of your being. It's like zing, like a light turning on. The whole body enlivens. The heart extends forward, the legs extend back. Length and strength through the body. And come down to the earth. Come onto the right ear, hips move side to side. Coming to face forward. And now the option here is either to stay with Shalabhasana, otherwise come towards Dhanurasana. I'm not going to demo this fully because it isn't optimal for my knees and their healing. You're going to bring the heels in towards the buttocks, take hold of opposite, or rather take hold of the ankles. Okay, and once you've got the ankles, there's an action as if you're kicking the feet up towards the sky. And as you do so, this creates an opening and lifting into Dhanurasana. Otherwise, you can stay with the first option of Shalabhasana. So choosing the option for you, taking care with knees. If there is stuff going on in your knees or your lower back, Dhanurasana might not be an optimal pose. You might stay with Shalabhasana and counting for 2. And for 1, low down to the earth. Come onto the left ear, hips move side to side. Hands come down either side of the body. Inhale, Cobra. Tuck toes to lift yourself back to child's pose. From here, come forward, finding your forearms on the earth, shoulder width apart, palms facing down. You might find it helpful if you have a brick to hold a brick in between the hands. And from here, you're going to come into a forearm downward dog, a dolphin pose. So you're going to tuck the toes and then start walking the feet up towards the elbows. The belly hugging up towards the spine, pressing down through forearms, keeping shoulders away from ears. You're going to hold that for another 3. For 2, walk the feet as far up as you can, bend the knees if necessary, little 2. And for 1, knees to the earth, child's pose. Inhale through the nose. Exhale, sticking the tongue out. And again, inhale through the nose. Exhale. Tongue out. Lion's breath. We're going to do that one more time. Coming forward onto forearms, holding the brick if necessary. Elbows shoulder width apart, tuck the toes and lift. Lifting, lifting. You can bend the knees a little if there's restriction through the hamstrings. And you want to really feel this sense of the core activating to lift up. So the belly is hugging towards the spine. And from here, you might extend one leg back up to the sky for count of 3. And then shift the other side to the sky for count of 3. And then whenever your body asks you to, find your way to child's pose, understanding this to be quite a fiery, challenging pose. In child's pose, now move the hips side to side. Plant the hands, tuck the toes, downward dog. Bend the knees a little. And then find your way. Maybe there's a jump, a step to sitting on the earth. You might have something ready to sit upon, if that feels optimal for you. Keeping the left leg extended out. Bend the right knee, drawing it up into the inner thigh. And from here, take the right hand to the outside of the left calf to create this twist of the body. Remember, you might be sitting up on something to help the forward fold here. And then arms to the sky and begin to fold forwards. Hands perhaps holding to shins, maybe they're wide, maybe hands coming to the foot. But notice here how my back is really curving forwards. We want to avoid that. Instead, see if you can have the shoulder blades coming together down the back and the heart lengthening, extending forwards. For 3, for 2, and for 1. Rise. Allowing everything to slow down now. Straighten one leg and drawing the opposite foot in towards the inner thigh. Left foot is going to come to the outside of the right calf. Bring yourself into twist, just to bring the body towards that foot. And now from here, extend, lengthen, and fold. Find the option for you. Being aware of the shoulder blades coming together to extend and lift through the heart. So it's as if the shoulder blades are like wings, gently easing the heart to extend forwards. From perhaps the fizzing, dancing energy of the flow, noticing what happens now with that movement of energy as we settle towards a more yin, lunar stage of our practice. Gently rise, ever so slowly. Soles of the feet come together now. And again, checking in. Some of you might find the brick helpful here. Soles of the feet draw into the body. You can still support the knees if necessary, if you're keeping them safe. Otherwise, the action, it's as if there's a wall on each side and the knees are trying to extend into the wall. Just exploring that for a moment. And can you notice how that extends in the inner groin here? That's the space we're going for. Inhale, lift, lengthen through the heart. Exhale, fold. But really slowly, inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold. And we're staying in, even though the attitude has become more yin, there's still an activeness to the pose. And the thing about the very yang energy of Kali, this divine energy of darkness, is that she's also the fierce mother. So she's like the really protective mother, nurturing and nourishing, clearing the way for transformation. So it's almost like that interfering mother who does those things which feel really difficult, but for your own good, to help you push through obstacles and barriers that you might. Allow your essential nature to blossom, to come to fruition. Deep compassion. There's no judgment. There's no criticism. Gently rising. And so slowly. Knees draw into the body for a moment, for an embrace. From here, bring the left heel in towards the buttock, or rather towards the sitting bone, and then the right sole of the foot is going to come to the outside of the left thigh. You might have that left leg straightened if you're keeping knees safe, or if there's anything going on in the body that doesn't feel accessible. And from here, take the right hand back behind you, grow tall through the twist. Left arm hooks to the outside of the thigh, grow tall once again, and then find that twist. And twist every inhale, drawing in towards your center and lengthening tall. Every exhale, twisting deeper into that space created. Gently gaze forward, take a gentle micro twist the opposite way, and lean back on hands and simply shift sides. Taking care here. You want to have both sitting bones on the earth to make sure that the twist is coming through the torso. Left hand back behind you, right hand to the outside of the thigh. Grow tall and twist. Tall and twist. Looking into the center and twisting into the center and twist. Gently gaze forward, micro twist the opposite way. Unravel the legs and come to life on the back. Hug the knees into the body. Perhaps momentary. Happy baby. Left leg extends, right sole of the foot to thigh. Finding a twist, these final moments to release. As we come down towards Shavasana, opposite way. Finding the twist. There might be some lovely releasing pops. As long as there's no pain, that's okay. Gently come to the back, knees into the body, and release to Shavasana. Let go. Settle down, release. Settling to the earth, absorbing practice. Let go completely. For those that need to finish at 15:15, that is now the time, and you're welcome to take moments to release from Shavasana. Otherwise, I invite you to stay here with me for the next few minutes, maybe about another 5 minutes. Choice is yours. back to the breath, back to this body. Fingers, the toes stretch long back. Slowly, in your own time, find your way to your side. Into a seated position, the eyes closed, and solar plexus, hand to heart. Our deepest fear is not that we are inadequate. Our deepest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure. It is our light, not our darkness, that most frightens us. We ask ourselves, who am I to be brilliant, gorgeous, talented, fabulous? Actually, who are you not to be? You are a child of God. Your playing small does not serve the world. There is nothing enlightened about shrinking so that other people won't feel insecure around you. We are all meant to shine, as children do. We were born to make manifest the glory of God that is within us. It's not just in some of us, it's in everyone. And as we let our own light shine, we unconsciously give other people permission to do the same. As we are liberated from our own fear, our presence automatically liberates others. Hands in prayer and sound of just one gentle om to honor this practice. Following inhale. Opening the eyes. Say namaste. To close your practice, I'm going to just offer you some journaling cues if you have time today. It doesn't have to be right now. Just in alignment with this theme of Kylie and this destroying to create endings for beginnings. You might want to write these down. I'll email them to you as well, and I'll put them in the information on the YouTube posting. So the question, what has emerged for me throughout this pause? What can I do now that I couldn't do before? What have I allowed myself to feel? What am I ready to let go of? And what am I ready to invite in? So with this really powerful full moon tomorrow and this very strong transition that globally we're going through, just taking a little bit of time to bring that into your center, into your wisdom of what this looks like in your world. Thank you.